Okay, so today we are going to understand one more concept which we have learned many times. Just I memorized whenever you are showing me code, then I think why not we can clear those concepts as well as right.
Yeah.
So I am trying to say, let's you write a class. Good example. You are trying to say list, and here you're trying to say string, right?
Right.
Okay, string list equal to new list, right? New array list. Let's example
Right.
arrays arrays list. Here you passing the string array list equal to new array list. Okay,
Right.
wherever you writing this, here we are passing something. This is the right here. So what is this? Many times I say you can write the list array list for string or array list for integer, right?
Right.
Int array list. Okay.
This is the type.
Uh, okay. Right. Similarly, you can do any kind of right multiple way.
Right.
So question is, can I write understand what the logically name of this? Can I write my class look like this? Right.
Right.
Okay, so here this is the Java class array list, right? And you are creating passing something here, right?
Right.
So let I can create the class maybe box. Okay, this is the my class, right?
Right.
Let can I create like a box equal to new box, and can I specify here something? Let's integer, but
No.
compiler is not happy, right?
Yeah. They are not happy.
Because so why here compiler happy, here not happy, right?
Right.
So we are going to understand what is this and how we can also create those. So first thing, this concept as a Java programming known as a generic type. Okay,
Right.
generic. Okay, generic. You know this terminology known as generic means ki this is the class they can work on different any kind of input, any kind of types. This is most probably types, right? Types
Right.
of value which are going to handle, right? Types of value.
Right.
So types of value. So let's example. This box can have a let's. I want to go here integer, right? Integer x, right?
Right.
Right. And here say hey box, and uh, like similarly here say given method get. Okay, get x, and here we have method like uh, void just let's set. Okay, say set. Okay, just simple. So here I want this box work for the integer, works for the set. So how can say? So if this is the only, it would good here. uh, Here if I can say not right here, as of now it works. This is my box class, and box class say hey box dot, I am setting in the name 45, and I can uh, box dot get x. I am getting the number, right? There is no
Correct.
problem. So this is let's similarly I want one box for float variable or string variable. If let's I want this only sub go for the string as well as. So we have what we have option. I'm going to maybe write the different class. Maybe I'm going to write similarly same class, but maybe different package or some different way, right? Or we have to go and change here. I'm going to string, right?
Right.
So I have to change. Or I want to long. Okay, I want to change long here, right? So in this way we have to change something, right?
Right.
Now your code get the long, or let's go to the float. So generally whenever we writing a class, always we have to specify which type. Let's say I want to float, right? A double. Okay, here we have to change all the places, right? Double, double. Oh, sorry, this is the double, right? And
Right.
then I've run, we pass in the double value, it will works, right?
Right. Right.
So can we make this box can hold? This is the box. This is just like one box, right? This currently say this box hold only double value, right?
Right.
This box can say ki work string, can work integer, can work float, can work double, can hold any kind of data. If
Yes.
this box is capable to holding any kind of data, that means that this box is the generic class. So currently, whatever I am written, this box class is a some specific types of box. They have only hold the double value, right?
Right.
But I want no, my box is just holding one value. The value can be even anyone, maybe double. Want someone I want double, so they can say, hey, this is the double. The one wants to long. You have to set the long. Why I am going to the changing again class, right?
Right.
So using the code, same code I want. Let's here I have a concept. Whatever the box, this number like this get, and instead of get, let's get the square. Get a square, right?
Right.
Get a square. Anything, whatever the operation you can do, right? Then no problem. Here
Right.
intention is that key this my box class can hold different data types value or not. So there are multiple options. First things we are going to the change this value. Or second, someone said, let's say I'm going to two variable, one for int, one for double, right?
Right.
This way, right? Someone interested, right?
Right.
Someone right. No. So here that means you are increasing your box capacity. Previously box needed for only one space, right? Now say
Right.
ki my box is going big and hold the two value. One for integer, one for double, right?
Right.
But while customers check at the time, I'm only use the one value. If I'm using the only integer, I can use the only integer part. But this space you're free, not someone who are going to utilize memory, right? Sometimes customers say I'm using one integer. So this space used, but this is the going free, right?
Right.
So this
Right.
is not a viable solution. We can here mention all different eight type, right? Maybe integer, float, double. Maybe customer say, no, this is my different class. Notice here I can write my class, employee class, right? Or I can write my math class, anything I can write.
Right.
So this class can hold not the only primitive value, they can hold all any kind of Java object, right?
Right.
So how many number of things I'm going to add in my class, so that my box become a generic. So the clear why we are going to use the generic means ki whenever I'm going
Okay.
to
Because
create any class,
right.
this
Right.
class is not okay. I'm saying ki this code is very similar. Only difference is about this type, right? Type
Right.
can be int, type can be double, type can be long, type can be test, type can be employee. So how I inform hey compiler, just you note, I'm not telling this is the hard coded value. Why not send some generic things? Okay, look like our existing API already doing for it, right?
Right.
So here, so simply say compiler say okay, just you mention here T any word. Just give me not any data type. Just mention T. Okay. Whenever you mention T, compiler not understand ki what is this T, right?
Right.
So how I'm saying, hey compiler, T is not anything. Just you understand ki whenever someone customer going to in main function are used at that time they passing with T ka meaning of T. Okay. So compilers. Okay. Right. So question is that okay. So why the runtime whenever someone going to run here, then here pass some input. Okay. The here at the class level you give me some hint. Ki what is this T, right?
Right.
So okay, let's so here say ki, okay, this is the less than greater than. Here I pass the say T. Okay.
Okay. So you're passing T.
So first you say ki someone whenever going to use my class at that time pass the meaning of T. Whatever they pass, same IT consider here. Here not so this should be T only, right? This should be T.
Okay. Okay.
So now compiler happy. Okay, you have some variable types of T. I don't know type. At times here, I writing this class. Okay, but when someone going to use here, they can tell me what is the meaning of T.
Right.
So this is known as a now box class or generic class. Someone reading this code, no one say "Ki this is the box class holding one value X. What is the type of X? I'm asking, this is the one class, okay? Now someone reading the code, say this is the one class, they are holding X type of value. What is the type? Type T. A T is nothing a type, right?
Right. It's a generic type.
Just generic, just someone says something, not a here you can word any word. You can use any word here. T, X, Y, P, there is no any concern, right?
Right.
T just means initial word of the type, right? So now someone, if you notice, still my program is work. Let me run.
Sure.
My program is still run.
Oh, still running.
So notice, question is that, question is that, then let's now run here. What is the T means? So let me say, hey box, I'm set value something, okay? Let's just get value. So notice what kind of value I'm getting. I'm getting object. X is the types of object.
Right.
But you say, I'm not setting here object. Why I'm getting object here? Okay. Notice here I am getting object X, right? Not the X. Actually double, right?
Right.
So here you have an option. Many times say ki whenever you are getting something, I know ki this is the 45, right? I know this is the 45, so I can say in this way. Hey box dot get X value, and I'm not in I'm it is I know this is the double, so I can cast in the double. And yes say double double dd equal to. Notice now I can get the double value. So here we have to do one additional steps. Here now we are getting the double value, right? So what here? Now this class is now can accept any types. Let's again. I am going to now set box dot. I am created another. I am created another object box one, right? And here I can set like a string. Okay, test. Okay,
Right.
surely someone cost to test it will give a problem, right? Box one, box one, box one. Okay, that's one, that's one. Okay,
Right.
so here till now it's no problem. Problem is only you are expecting give me the double, but you know this is not a double, right?
Right.
So here we are getting something. because notice previous this code works for one object, right? Why this code again not works? Because here you are expecting double value, but you are set here string. You are getting problem, right?
Right. Okay. Because the
Right?
casting is double.
Because you are expecting this box contain the double, but at the someone can set the string. Because till now here whatever you can set, because set method is expecting you pass t can be anything, right?
Oh, T
T can be
convergency. Right,
integer, t
right,
can be
right.
float,
Yeah.
t can be double. Due to that, if I comment this line, your program is okay, there is no problem. So only problem while getting the value,
Right,
right? I am getting null by here x, why I am getting x null. Okay. Here object one set. Okay, I am setting not box one. Here we have to set box one, right? This is the box one. We have to set in the box one, right?
right,
Here we have a box object variable. You are setting inside a box, but this is a box one new object, right? In this object you have to set, right? This is the right.
right,
I am creating here setting in this object, right? So I am reading in this object. I am getting now, right?
right,
Whenever you see box, that means you are setting inside this object, right? And here you are setting something, and you are trying to get from here. So you are getting null, right?
right,
Okay. So this is the very simple way where you can make your classes accept string. They can accept anything you can now add, right? Set here.
right,
Question is again. I want to very specific thing. So here say again, no, कि this method return something, but who know? They return, I know this is the return string. So here say, okay, this is string. So we have to typecast a string, right?
right. No, but it's automatic, right? No?
No, let me why.
Okay.
A string ss. By default, you get the object. Notice here, I'm getting the object. Default, default, you are pushing anything. Here, notice this is the string test, right?
Right,
And good thing if you have a one why, because at the declaring object class you are not specifying कि this box one going to hold only integer or float or double. You are not specifying anything, right? Yes,
right,
you are simply say box. Here just say box 3 and here say new box, right? And here box 2 dot a set. Here you can set anything. Notice compilers given option. Notice dot set. Notice they have a given option. Okay, by default they are assuming object, right?
right, right,
In Java, each and everything by default considered as a object, right? Object is the superclass of our class. You know, right?
right.
Many
Yeah,
varieties, right? If I write my class, a test class, if I'm not inheriting, by default they inherited from object, right? Similarly, in Java, each and every value, each and everything by default considered a Java object, right?
right,
Excuse me. So here you are not specifying anything. So by default, set some understand you are passing any object, maybe float, maybe double. Let's see. This is my simple my class. Okay, my class. Okay, this is a my class, simple class, and here I can even add my class, new my class, right? So it's
right,
also okay, and you can say here or you can say box two dot set. Even you can say number. It also allow. Even you can set a string. It is also allow. Why? Because this is the generic types. You say I'm accepting anything.
Right.
So someone now I'm let someone added this, right? Someone might be add like a box 2 dot set. Let someone say add some double, right? So question is that lots of things I added here, right? Let's say I'm going to add, so which value I'm get? I'm will get integer, float, double. What I'm going to write? I'm going to integer x. Here I say like box 2 dot get x or what? Or double. Here why I'm right going to double or string, I float. What I'm going to typecast here? I'm so confused because each and everything you can allow.
We can type object.
Hmm.
No.
Object is the by default. Object is the always correct.
Okay, okay.
Object is always for okay.
I see.
Okay. Object object always for okay. It's okay. But this is really not object. This is the integer. This is a string. This is the double. This is a float, right?
Uh,
So first, I want some kind of restriction. Here, no one can anything here.
right,
The here problem only what I am going to typecast here. I am going to typecast what the typecast I am going to here, right?
right,
Okay. Here I am typecast string. I am going to typecast a string here. Okay. String or here I am going to typecast integer or float. What? That this is the confusion of state, right? So why not we tell, hey compiler, this box is created for just only one type, not for any kind of types. Here generic say any kind of type, right?
mhm,
So again we give the restrictions. So how to give restrictions? How to, or here problem. I am going to write double float, double. Let's say I'm going to double. Lots of confusion. I think I'm going to write what here, right?
right,
So why not it would be clear. So now instead of declaring box here, box 3 equal to new box, okay? Why not at the time subject say this box 3 is only for integer number, right?
right,
Just now in box 3 you cannot add like all the things. Let's try to add box 3 dot add. So here integer 34 it's allowable. Let's see box 3 dot set. Let's see I'm trying to say string. Okay.
right,
Now here your code is not compiled. Compiler say, hey, this a method expecting integer. Why are you passing a string?
right,
So now generic help us to ensure you are not going to add anything because here you mention my box 3 object is the container. They can hold one object, but they can hold only one types of value. That is the integer types, not the string, not the float, not the double. Is it clear? So now
yeah,
here compiler not allowed to add other here compiler compiler not allow to add a string, right? Why?
right,
Because you mention my box 3 is only for the integer. And now here you say box 3 dot get get. So they return by default integer, and you here you don't need any typecast. Always you are getting the integer, not the object, right?
right. Oh, by
No
default. Okay,
typecast. I know that this is the types of integer. So always I'm getting the integer, right?
right,
I want to string. You can create different box. Say I want to this box for a string. Okay, box 4. Okay, new box. Okay, semicolon. Here box 4 dot you set, but here you cannot set like a integer because now box say this box is only for a string. Why you are passing integer, right? So
Right.
this box not allow you can set kind of a integer. So okay, this box for a string, so I can only set a string, right?
Okay. Okay.
And
Hmm.
whenever I set box 4 dot get, the get they return by default a string object. Notice you don't not need a typecast because this box 4 no, the box 4 is for a string. So they are by default get to the string. So here no need a typecast, right?
Right. Right.
So this is the way we can create my own generic.
Hmm.
So this class is become a generic class. They can hold any types of value. But why I'm writing here box T at the time of constructor, generally you tell me here at the time of creating variable, right? Here at the time of variable creation, I mention T means here T means string. The by default this class is change. Here is string, here is string, here is string by default.
Right.
Compiler do for so whenever you are say similar kind of class compiler created for you where they are replace all t with a string, right?
Right.
If you say integer, the compiler similar kind of class created for you that replace t with integer.
Integer. Okay.
So this class is just like a template. At the runtime, different behavior they play, right? This variable t is changed at the runtime. Whenever you are writing not a runtime while the writing the using in the main code, right? Compile times. So all these generics is understand by compiler at the compile time. Whenever
Right.
you're running this code runtime, it is not a t, it is always with change, maybe with integer, maybe with string, or maybe you are not specify anything. By default compiler replace t with the object,
Right.
right?
Right.
So whenever compiler going to compile this code, okay, they are compiling look like this code. This code are not compiling. They are going to replace t with the object, but you are not specify anything, right? So by
Right.
default, Java assume we are going to allow object. Object means you can add anything. So due to that, we are getting the object output, right? Get object, right?
Right. Right.
But whenever you write this, whenever code compiler say oh, box 3 for integer. The by default compiler is replace this t with integer. So this class work for your integer. Replace t.
I see. I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah. That's called generic.
Now, similarly, hey, box for string. So
Right.
compiler going to replace this t with string. So all those generics work at a compile times.
Hmm.
So instead of you are writing same this code multiple for integer, for float, for double, this is lots of copy, right? Why not just write one copy and just place the template? Look like template. This runtime template will be changed, right?
Right.
In other language like a C, this is known as a template. Like okay, even I can create my box. Hey, my box for my class. Okay, this box is just for my class, right?
Right.
Box. And notice here you can say box 5 dot. Now here set. You cannot set like a number, not allow compiler. Even you cannot set any kind of a string. Box 5 set string, right? No, compiler not allow because compiler ne hey box 5 is created for the my class object. You can only pass the my class object. Okay, so box 5 dot set new new my class object, right? It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You say box 5 I want to get 5 dot get. So by default compiler uh, is getted you the object my. Notice by default they return the my class object, because no, they know ki box 5 is designed for the my class. So
Right.
my class can get, right?
Right.
So this is very, very, you can say, uh, use whenever you write any algorithm, any logics. That logic is not bound to any specific type, like a sorting of number, right? A sorting of number algorithm is not work for only integer. Sorting can be for float, for double, for long.
Right.
So I'm
Right.
to write the sort algorithm for different types, right? 10 copy I have to return the bubble sort, right?
Right.
Why not our sort function just support generic, right? Ki
Oh, yeah,
algorithm
it makes
become
sense. So
same,
you just
but
open
only
it.
see the types. Yeah.
Right. You just
So
open it
this
for everyone. Yeah.
so this generic help at that places where you are going, like in the case of collection framework, we are going to store some value, right?
Right.
And get some value. You are storing 10 value, right? And I'm
Right.
getting 10 value. A value can be integer, value can be float, value can be double, value can be employee, value can be department, right? But our
Right.
business logic is the same to storing and to getting, right?
Right.
The store and get is the same, for they're not differentiate the different value, right?
Right.
So this container is for generic. So in the reality, in the real world, we are building my house, okay? Yeah, my room. So my room is generic. Maybe I can stay here, my wife can stay here, my boys can children can stay here. Not this room allow you only for the specific time, right?
Right.
The reality always we are building any kind of a device that can be generally for the variety of uses, right? Depend upon the person, depend upon the situation, right?
Right.
Similarly, whenever you are going to write any class, any algorithm, any business logic, and let's think this business logic for a specific type, then okay, go with a specific type, integer, float, double. But this can be for any types, so you go with the generic, right?
Right.
So it is clear what is generic.
Now I understand because array list also it is like a box,
Correct.
and
I'm now
you can switch between object, class name,
now
integer.
float here. Here I can say integer, here I can float. How it's possible?
Hmm.
Because array have a function.
Because
What array function?
right.
Array have a function like add number, right? That
Right.
add.
That number. Yeah.
They have add. So add, they can add any kind of value. Similarly, they have function get, right?
That's right.
Dot get, right? Get. So here add and get. No, if you are passing the integer number, you can get the integer number, right? Use
That's right.
integer number, right?
That's right.
But this functionality add and get internally is the same for double, same for float, right?
Right.
So why not our class just initially tell me you are going to perform this add and get operation for integer, your float or double or string or department object, my class object, any kind of object, right?
Right.
So this is the huge case. These things in the last couple of classes when we started learning the collections framework, I am saying just understand type, right?
Right. We used a lot.
Uh, So now it's clear. Ki what do you mean by you are writing like
And now
box
it's
X,
clear. Yeah. So
right?
it's like that's how it's structured.
Yeah, right.
Mm.
So in this generic, lots of other things also we have to cover, but it will take a couple of classes, you can say. But this is the basic things. Okay.
Right.
Let me one more class, one more example. Class maybe util class. Okay. And this class have let's method, one method like static, uh, integer, sum. Okay, sum function, and
Right.
sum will take a two integer value. Okay, why? And they return me integer. Z, and say X plus Y. Okay, and here you are returning Z, right?
That's right.
It's very simple. We have a util class and say, hey, I have a util class dot sum, and I pass the 4 comma 5. Okay, they return me the sum of sum. Okay, I'm run. Okay, there is no problem. What happened? I want to sum for two float number. What say? Expected semicolon. Right? Notice you are getting the sum.
Right.
But I sum for two float number. So what I can do? I can go write another function, right? I can go and duplicate. Here I write a double, right?
Yeah, we like float or double.
Double, whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
In this way, we are going to change our logic, right? Sorry. Uh, We have to copy paste code. And now say, oh, my method can support the, uh, like here I can pass 4.1, here I pass 5.2. And that says, this return me the double, okay? But it is a good thing. You notice business logic is the same, right?
Right.
So why your copy paste code, right? Someone say for float, byte, sort. How many number of copy paste you are doing? Why not make a generic, right?
Right. Right.
But we could just generic, right? So here I am not going to duplicating. No, I am not going to interested to duplicate. So question where I specify what is the type of this and what is the type of this, right? Integer where I can going to specify integer.
If you want to make it generic, you
Yes,
can put instead of integer, you can put a T,
let's yes put
type
T.
T, type T. Yeah. Or anything.
Anything. And now this is also time a tip.
That's right.
So
And also we need to change the static type, integer,
yeah,
return type T.
yeah. So now still compiler is very unhappy. How to fix it? Still not understand what is the T. Question is that ki someone calling this some method where they are saying it is a T for double, a float, or what? What is the T? Where I am specifying? Here I am using. Notice here I am using. So where I can say this T is the integer, a float, a double.
After util in the bracket.
After you in the bracket here.
No, no, on line 64.
Yes. Let's here go and say here I am say T. So notice still compiler is not happy.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then I'm not sure.
Notice here
Yeah,
it works fine. Notice
that's right. That's
and
right.
here
Yeah,
I cannot works fine because whenever writing any static method is not bound to the object, right?
right, right, right.
So here you have to also specify not here at before here. Before this method, you can say this is the type T.
Okay, okay. Mm.
Now question here T. So what happen if T someone pass the string or pass my employee? Two employee can be appended. So plus operation is the problem. Plus is not work for every time, right? Plus is
Right,
only work for number system, right? Plus is not work for a two employee can plus, a two department can plus. If this compiler allow plus, that means you can do any kind of plus, right?
right,
Here,
right.
notice you cannot allow plus. The generic have some problem. We will discuss later, right? Generic have some problem. Notice. So what? Let's I up now. So question is how I fix. Later classes will discuss how to fix. As of now, just I say I am trying to fix it, right? So how I'll do? That's it. So I'm fix it. There are multiple way, but let's fix with this. Why I'm trying to say why compiler not allow here? Okay, to do it because generic is not plus is not help for generic, right? Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
Plus operation is very specific things. They cannot work department 1 plus department 2. You can add? No. Though department how to add, right? It's not a number
Right.
system. But this plus operator designed for number system. So you say generic means someone in the main method can pass anything here. They can pass float, they can pass string, they can pass employee, they can pass department.
Right.
And compiler going to compile the code, say you are going to do plus on the generic. It's not allowed.
Right. Right.
Logically makes sense, right?
It's logical because if it's string, then you cannot
Uh,
add to a string.
right. Yes. Um, so this is the way while a compile time code understand that we have set some limitation here. So I'm not going to discuss all the things, just how to fix it. So I'm saying this type would be always number. This T I'm say somewhere this is should be number, not the any other thing, right?
Right.
So that on the number we can perform the operation, right? So this is the operation. I'm saying this is the only number system. Okay, extend, or you can simply say this T extends numbers. Yes, it should be. What say again? Plus operator cannot apply in the T. T generic for number. Let me Java generic for 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 number. Okay, this some syntax where I generic the T types. No, where is the? Let me go to the find different place. So yeah, generic types Java language. So here we have to specify something compiler. They understand this is the type is not anything. This is only the number system. Extend or
Right.
implement somehow. No, this is the somehow one word. Uh, let why not open it? Okay, this is the generic type, right? And this will go. This will go. Same thing you can read whatever I teach you, right? On the official
Right.
website, Oracle site, right?
Right.
And let me go to the here use method lower bound upper
So
bound.
his
I'll
Oracle site is very good. It has all the
uh,
examples that I need.
almost you can find here, yes.
Hmm.
So notice here I can say T types and say T should be object, T should be somewhere question mark T. No, I don't want type references T should be a release. Somewhere we have to specify you T can be types upper bound. Yes, this is the upper bound somehow. We have to send question mark list for okay. Question mark list for sum of doubles. Question mark extend doubles. It will works in this way, right? Somehow they say question mark extend numbers. So it works for what my no. no, here need so no T should be number.
Okay.
This again say this not recognize what is the plus operator cannot apply T. Um, Let me I'll check and figure out. This is somehow we have to specify because logically plus operation is a very uh, number specific operation, right?
That's right.
So let me sum instead of whatever the operation say operation, and here say just print something. Okay, here say now whatever the operation just return whatever x out. Okay, so let me till now understand explain. So till now utility is that you can write util dot operation. Here I can pass maybe two number and later part we can decide how to operation. So it will return the your operation. You are passing these two number by default. They are
Right.
returned integer. So if you are passing that util dot operation that's float, okay, comma and comma float, okay, they return whatever the double operation. So by default, they can acknowledge this operation. By default, these are the types of T returning.
Right.
Mhm. So let me think. I pass string, then what happen, right?
Right.
Util operation of let's pass one comma two. Okay, dot where. So notice they are not allowed because you are typing the only T support a number, right?
Right.
If you
Right.
this part, then let's allow it will also allow. This could be generic, right? Now this is allow, right? Because they know that this is a string. Or even
Oh,
you can two operation like a util dot. Maybe here I can pass new my class object, right? One and new my class object two. Right? My class. So by default, the T means they can you can pass anything, right?
okay. So how did you fix it? Earlier it wasn't working when you
Hmm.
typed the string. You put OP.
Ah. I just change as of now. I am not doing any kind of operation here. I'm not doing this is a plus. I cannot plus two my object, right? The only operations. So here, let me say util dot operation. Here we have option somehow say question mark extends number. Yes, I know. I'll tell you. So here I'm trying to say this operations in a static method where you can specify the type at the method signature, right?
Right. Right.
And here, if you say ki this is a method signature, you say ki this is for integer, right? And
Right.
okay, dot, sorry, whenever you are writing static method, this is the static method operation of the here. How to I say this is t integer? I want to say so here say util. Okay, this is my class util dot. Here you can say operation. This is the for integer and op, right? And here I pass two number. Okay, then they return only integer. By default, they understand this is integer, right?
Right.
In the case of a static method, where you can specify this runtime at the runtime in the here at the before method because the before method you can say this is the type.
Right.
So here, just I tend to connect whenever you're writing in a static method and you want to make a generic, then you cannot specify at the class level. You have to specify at the at the your method before the return types. What is the T, right? What is the T? Compiler. If you remove this, compiler is very unhappy. What is the T, right? You
Right.
cannot specify at the class level. So you have only place here because static method is not bound to the class, right?
Right.
Good. So later part I'll cover all the things. There are things static method, non-static method, right? And later part I'll explain how all the things going. But as of now, today we cover you can write your class. Complete class can be generic with a class level generic, right?
Right.
And something at the method level, if you want to generic, that means you have to write here like a static method before the method declaration.
So this is the method level.
Yes, method level for static. For static things, you have to only write here T.
Hmm.
For non-statics and all the things, you can declare just here top level. Maybe this can take a two types, maybe integer or float. So you can say comma R also, right?
Right.
Or any T variable. So later part, later classes will also cover some generic, not only one types. I want to need a two types. Okay, right?
Right.
So let's like here. Well, let's say I want not just only one type. I need a two variable, not only one variable, right? Two sum, two float, right? So let's sample. I write uh, what I can say operation, operation. Okay, and operation can be take. Let's you want to plus or minus one types T and other types maybe R. We need a two types of variable, right? So here you can write the two as well as, right? So not this is not just only one type. Here you can say now notice here we have two operations, and here you can suggest like maybe here T one variable, right? Here say R two variable, right?
Right.
You have two variable, and you say operation, okay? Or you can say just same time, but let's say T, okay? And R. Here any number of things you can do, right? Not only one thing. I'm trying to say. And here you can say set method, get method, whatever you want, right?
Right.
Constructor, okay? Const like constructor you can so this is not just for here. I can just box for one variable. You can go with a two variable, three variable, four variable. Generally in the Java, generally we are going to the three variable. Have you noticed the collector interface? We are look, they have a three types: T, R, and another, right? Collector
Right.
interface.
Right.
I have remembered collector interface, right? This is the collector. Notice this is the collector interface. They have a three types of generic, right? T, A, R as well as. T means we have discussed the reduce operations, accumulator, and the result.
Right.
So whenever notice this is generic not only for class, this is also for interface, right?
Hmm.
So you can whenever you are going to writing class or interface, maybe here interface, right? Interface, interface test, and here you can specify this interface for a T and R, okay? And here you can define something, right? They my method like a get R, okay, and
Right.
input like a T, okay, T, okay, and return R. You can write this, right? This is the interface. They have a method get, right? They have a method get. You pass T type and you return R value. So generic is for both interface and class, and
Right.
even for static method. But a static method, you cannot declare generic at the class level. Add the before method right here. This is the differences.
So I need this if I need to write, let's say that a algorithm.
Hmm.
You said
You
like
can
if
do
I,
it, yes.
then I need that.
Okay. So generic is just for those things, those business logic, your data, your operation is not specific types. This for generic, then you write code should be generic, right?
So we
So
need that in many occasion at work too.
yeah, generally, all the Java collection frameworks implemented using the generic operation. Like they have a
Okay,
sort method. Notice we have a collection dot sort.
that's right.
They can
That's right.
sort
Yeah,
number. They can sort float. They can sort your employee object. Right.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
So sorting algorithm is not written for employee, not written for number, not written for only XY object. Right.
It can sort anything.
Anything. So this sort function is implemented as generic by the Java framework, right?
That's
Collection
right.
framework. So intention is that generally sometime in our application required to write my own generic, but always we are using the Java library itself. Because Java already provided lots of generic utility, right? Like
That's
here
right.
in the collection framework, all generics just we are using, right?
Right.
Right? We are not going to write any generic. Still we are able to use. We understand what the meaning of generic, right?
Right.
So similarly, today class is not to build any generic for you, but if you are interested, you can build. Question is that this generic is used by the Java designer, any framework designer, any language implementation, right? They are used, right?
Right.
So we should also aware I can write my class like this way. But generally in our application, rarely we are going to define my own generic, right?
Right. Right. Right.
But this is generally used by the Java language, which develop this library, right? If you are going to develop library, we are going to the generic. Sometime this existing generic not work for my business requirement. Then we have to write my own generic, right?
Right.
So this is the one more tool a developer have. Existing generic like collection framework you have, you can use. If you are going to beyond the collection framework and you want to try something more implementation, then you have to write your own generic, right? So this
Right.
is the way you can write your own generic. Generic means notice all the generic things is only work at the compile time. Up
Right.
notice this is the call class. Whenever class is compiled, they are going to create the dot class file, object file, bytecode. In the bytecode, this is always the actual type, right? The generic code, whatever the generic code you written here, T. This time it a T, but whenever compiler compile this code, here they mention integer, R float, R double, right?
That's right.
Once the code compile and going to this bytecode run, after while running, there is a no any concept of generic. Generic is still your code compilation. Okay,
Right.
so please be note. So whenever you're writing generics, it hit in any kind of performance issue your application? No, because whenever your code going to run, code always running need actual type, integer, float, double, employee, everything, right?
Mm.
So before the class you writing here, all the classes can be generic model, right? Generic
Mm.
model. But whenever they are going to compile, they will compiler replace all the generic thing with the actual value. If you're not passing anything, by default T understand object. Okay.
Right.
So due to the generic in your code, there is no any performance degradation. Whatever your application performance, okay, but only generic help us to reduce the number of classes you writing, the number
Right.
of method you are writing, right?
That's right.
But while running application, Java runtime, they don't know about the generic. They don't just know the actual object, integer object, class object, float object, object class, right?
Oh, they don't know anything about generic. They just
No,
understand it's
at
object.
runtime there is a no any impact. Runtime, no code going to the generic code here. Only after compilation your code become actual. This is the written like here. Whenever code compile, it will replace with the actual value,
Right.
right? How to know? Someone going to use a main method, right? They pass the
Right.
actual value, right? If you're not passing any actual value, they can understand this is the object or something else, right?
Right.
So it is about this generic. We'll continue some more classes on that. With lots of things we have to cover here, right?
Right.
But for as per the basic things, is it okay? You can write your own generic class. right? We did here boxes, right?
That's the okay.
It's clear.
Yeah.
So generic is just one more tool Java developer have to write code as generic. Means your code is not bound to any specific types of value. This generic can be applied at the interface level,
That's
at
right.
the class level,
Class level.
at the static method level as well as.
Right.
So for class level, for interface level, and for everything, you can declare type at the after the class name, right? And in case of interface, after the interface. And also generic not for only one type, maybe multiple types, right?
Right.
T, R, A, B, C, D, anything you can write here, right? Any number of things you can write here. There is a no compiler is happy understand, right? Right?
Right.
So generally we prefer one or two types because I explore the Java library. Java library generally is one or two or three or four hardly, right? But in
Mhm.
our business requirement might be need multiple. So you can means compiler Java compiler allow, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the day, anything, any confusion till now?
Uh, yeah, I'll look into it again. But so far, I'm clear. Have a clear idea.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can close the call. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.